Alright, so starting out with openers, the big one that I normally use is just the forward dodge bash. So obviously if you think they won't dodge, you let out the bash. If you think they'll empty dodge, you forward dodge guard break. And if you think they'll dodge attack, you forward dodge and then punish the dodge attack. And sometimes when my opponent's really patient, I'll just use the variably timed neutral heavies. So you actually have 3 levels of this. You have uncharged heavy, you have slightly charged heavy, and then you have fully charged heavy. If they go for a parry, it's very likely that they'll misread what level you're going for and just eat the heavy. However, what most people will do is just block, since they won't be taking any major damage, and then they'll just give you a free entry into your own offense. And another thing to implement, if you know your opponent's going to react to the forward dodge as if you're going to forward dodge bash with either a dodge or a dodge attack, is just forward dodging and then doing a side light. His side lights have really good tracking, so this can get you an opener if they dodge or dodge attack. One thing to keep in mind when entering the punch after a fully charged heavy is you will actually be interruptible if they don't change their guard and buffer a light. This applies to his neutral fully charged heavies as well as his chain unblockable fully charged heavies. This does not seem to be the case, however, if they actually block the neutral fully charged heavy. If you enter the fully charged bash from any light or any other form of heavy, then they will not be able to interrupt you with a light. And his chain bash offense also has the same kind of thing with the forward dodge bash as I was explaining earlier, where you can feint the punch into a side light which will track dodges and dodge attacks. Sometimes if I think my opponent will either stand there or empty dodge, then I'll just feint the punch into a kick. This is really good for when my opponent's really low on stamina and they can't dodge attack without putting themselves out of stamina, and that kicks is just a little bit of stam drain, just enough to put them out of stamina. Having your opponent out of stamina is really useful, even though Centurion doesn't have that good of out of stamina punishes. This is because his fully charged punch 50-50, either just letting it out or fighting the guard break, will refill your stamina if you make any sort of successful read from that situation. Another thing that you're going to really want to know while you're playing Centurion is the level 1 punch is confirmed off of the parry riposte kick. This can add on a little bit more stamina drain and even put them out of stamina. I've even been known to do this on a light parry if I know I'll put them out of stamina, but I wouldn't advise doing this unless you have Haymaker. And then if you guard break an opponent by a wall, you're going to want to be doing the double punch into the wall throw into the fully charged heavy for more stamina drain. For more information on his max punishes, I do have a max punish video that I will link in the description. In general, Centurion with Haymaker in a 1v1 situation is going to be a fucking menace. Forward dodge kick into light as well as his level 1 punch each do 12 damage. His full guard break punish near a wall is going to do 44 damage, and this is all including a bunch of stamina drain. And you know that parry punish I mentioned earlier where you do the kick riposte into a punch into a light? That now does 22 damage. But yeah, in my opinion, Centurion is the best stamina bully in the game. So with Haymaker, you will now be able to do actual damage as well as bullying the absolute shit out of your opponent's stamina. And you don't have to worry as much about using up all of your own stamina draining theirs, because any Eagle's Talons, as I mentioned earlier, will fully recharge your stamina meter. And as a last note, his out of stamina punishes with Haymaker are actually really good. His max guard break punish on an out of stamina opponent will do 49 damage and can execute. But anyways, that's about it. See ya.